Welcome to my quick review of The Town. Now, The Town is being compared to another movie that Ben Affleck directed, which was Gone Baby Gone. A much better movie than this one. At least in Gone Baby Gone, you had some moral lessons, some debates, something to discuss when you left the theater. This movie doesn't leave you with much interesting to discuss. Now, you got the same type of dysfunctional characters, depressing atmosphere, which has already got me down. And you got Ben Affleck's character here, Doug, and he's the main character, and he's the brains behind these four-man crew of bank robbers. And we're seeing him, deal with his lifestyle of crime and some new revelations, about his parents, and now a new found love interest from a woman that happens to be a hostage, or had been a hostage, of a bank heist they pulled early in the movie. Now, we want to see how Ben is going to deal with all these issues. I would like to see them go on the route of the love story, and even somewhat more of the background with his parents. And we get a little bit of that. I like that part. But the movie wants to go in the direction more of the action. The problem is, there really isn't a lot of action, and what action you do see is quite unrealistic. But you got your violence, you got your profanity, which you got some chuckles in the crowd. It doesn't work for me, but it does for some people still. And if you're gonna go that route, let's make it serious. But Ben, wants to throw some humor in there, making the bad guys look good and the FBI like buffoons. Now, we can have some sympathy for Doug. We kind of feel sorry for him, getting mixed up in crime, and we feel sorry for his Hispanic background, and you can sympathize with him. And we want to see him change. Falling in love is making him want to change, and we have to figure out, or he has to figure out, how it's going to happen. And I'm interested in that part. But we don't see a whole lot of that. We got a lot of mindless shootouts, and just some ridiculous scenes. And people are actually enjoying this movie. And I'm giving it an overall C+ grade. I do think this is, I like the acting of Ben and Renner, the star of Hurt Locker. I think Ben should be doing more characters like this. I think he's suited for it. Unfortunately, I don't like these style of movies. So the movie wasn't a total disaster, but if you're like me, and you're just tired of the mindless violence, the profanity, the attempt at cheap laughs, then I cannot recommend The Town.